I personally not a big fan of Apple, but can definitely say that when AirPods crashed the market, many companies decided to swamp it with tons of similar earbuds, but without quite the same success. On the other side of this Titanic, German company Sennheiser lowered their boats before the crash, decided to wait a bit and safely returned in 3 years probably. So today we're taking a look at their homework, renewed product with a simple name, Momentum True Wireless 2. My name is Bogdan, welcome to Tech Fellows. You can't judge the book by its cover, but today we'll start exactly from the cover, because there is a lot of fabric on it. This is not the best practical solution, but at least it's not some glass that can be easily scratched or a silicone that will collect all the dust in the world. The case is fine in terms of size. There is a Type-C port, a button for checking the charge level, and its multicolor indicator. Frankly, the mystery behind the meaning of all blinking combinations remained unsolved for me, and the description of the battery conditions feels somewhat too complicated, so I decided not to bother myself with that stuff. What's important, I know that the green light says that the case is filled up and that it can charge headphones completely 3 times. Sennheiser promises up to 7 hours of work from a full battery, but in fact I got about 5.5 with constantly working noise reduction. Yeah, about this and other features a bit later. So together with the case we get 22 hours in total. The full charge takes 1 hour and a half, and if you're in emergency, put earbuds in a case for 10 minutes and you will have them working for an hour and a bit more. Earphones design is simple. On the one hand, they do not look kinda beans, which somebody glued ear tips on, however doesn't seem freaky eccentric, like it just broke away from Brazilian carnival. They fit nicely in ears, even despite the absence of special wings. If to wear them all day after removing these plugs, you might feel slight discomfort, but personally I didn't find it troublesome. Now let's dive deep and check the noise reduction. Here it works better than in many devices we had, but certainly worse than in headphones from Sony. When this function's turned on, but the music no playing, you will hear stray noise, especially noticeable in a quiet room. As soon as you hit the play button, the buzzing disappears. Another option is transparent hearing. In this mode, the surrounding sounds are not cut off but amplified, so that you can hear what is happening around and won't get hit by some random car, or a deer, or a guy. By the way, when you take out at least one earpiece, the music is paused at once. Putting it back in turns the sound on again. During voice calls, transparent hearing enables automatically, thus you do not yell into the microphone like at stadium, which is a common thing for people who are talking on headset. So how do you control all that? By simple tapping. There are many gestures to set, and the first day of trying might be a challenge, cause the same way of tapping on left or right earpiece brings on absolutely different functions. Frankly, in a while I just forgot about secondary functions and was switching only between ANC and transparent hearing. You can manage actions with combinations of taps in the special app. There is also an equalizer that looks pretty exciting, but as for an audiophile, it is not so comfortable and especially doesn't seem to be precise. There are many other useful settings, notifications for example, switching between tone only, voice and tone prompts, or just leaving it off. Momentum TW2 has the most neat and easy to understand voice comments. Some booping sounds also bring a lot of fun, but tones are never as informative as direct words, and I'm glad having that in those earbuds. Headphones are paired by Bluetooth 5.1. They support aptX, AAC codecs, and SBC, especially for fans of Apple products. In the office, we tested the power of the Bluetooth receiver and decided that it's quite high. If typical wireless headphones disconnect on the way to the restroom, Sennheiser's work even inside, taking the fact that the distance between them and paired iPhone XS was not less than 10 meters, with at least a meter of concrete and a dry wall on top of it. Unless you already have a question why there is no aptX HD, you probably just wouldn't care about other codecs. Anyway, IPTX HD is among the paid software products, can be found only in smartphones with Qualcomm hardware and even not all of them. IPTX has become available to all smartphones starting from Android 8, which makes it incomparably more popular. Unfortunately, low latency protocol is not supported, so while watching videos on YouTube for instance, there will be not a critical, but still noticeable delay. Well, now about the least important thing in Bluetooth headphones, the sound. Momentum doesn't bill itself as earbuds for audiophiles, and in the first place, this is not surprising, cause TWS is a mass market, and secondly, you just hear that. By default, the earphones play in a bit darker way with enhanced viscous bass, thanks to the one and lonely 7mm dynamic driver inside. If you drag the bass down with the equalizer, it becomes a little more dense and sharp, which positively affects the overall performance. Despite all my attempts to squeeze high frequencies, I was unable to make these earphones sound biting. Even with maximum emphasis on highs, they still remain soft. These earbuds won't whip your ears even in cases when a more nerdy BA setup could tear your brain apart. How accurate are highs depends directly on the sound source. For example, background cymbals through iPhone often have a clear scent of rustling. When using IPTX codec, they become cleaner, but do not wait for some big revelation. The middle frequencies are not so damped, and with equalizer we set it even close to up front a bit. By default, the bass is dominant and jumps over the mids. The pitch is fluent, solid, but not excessively soft. Earphones do not mumble, they sound detailed enough to play beautifully not only all sorts of pop music, but also blues, metal, jazz, electronics, basically anything where there is something to listen to. If to stop fracturing the sound in general, Sennheiser once again didn't amaze us. On the one hand, they retained their Canon approach to sound. TW2 plays exactly the way an average person wants it to play, and the Momentum series actually has always been like that. On the other hand, earbuds are not surprising with subtle details too, they just act without any feature or showstopper. If you imagine how high quality dynamic earphones for the mass market should play, you most likely predict the sound of Momentum TW2 by 80%. So, will this audiophile madness say that it's bad? No, we don't think so, because when choosing earphones for daily use, you will need a pleasant and relatively detailed, clean sound, and not a cracker that you can listen not more than half an hour purely just to suffer. The cost of all that pleasure is around $300. Quite a lot, but let's not forget that this line was never a budget one, and secondly, together with normal sound, you get ANC, decent software, and ergonomics. So unless you think that you'd rather die than pay, you can safely go ahead and buy Momentum TW2. However, if you still want to save some money, check out our video about Soundcore earbuds that I shared in the description box below. Also there you will find the links to the internet stores where you can buy Momentum True Wireless too. And if you like this video, then why not to support our channel by subscribing to it, hitting the like button and ringing the bell to stay tuned for more cool content. My thanks for watching and cheers!